Jai Sri Krishna. And continuing the Srimad Bhagavad, we are doing about Dattatraya's 24 gurus. And last time we spoke about what Dattatreyaji learned from an ocean, a moth, and a honeybee. So continuing today from page 925 of the Srimad Bhagavad by Swami Tejomayanandji, I start reading. And this time we are going to learn what Dattatreyaji learned from an elephant. And I read, "The elephant extremely attached to the sense of touch. In a particular season, male elephants constantly rub their bodies against the females to enjoy the sense of touch. Elephant catchers dig and cover a large hole and place on it a replica of a female elephant in order to capture the males. When the male elephant nears the replica because of his attachment to touch, he falls into the trap and gets captured. Compared to all other attachments, the attachment to touch is the most dangerous. For example, so long as a man does not touch a woman, everything is all right. But the moment that touch occurs, the chances of trouble are much more. The scriptures clearly state that one should not needlessly touch even one's own limbs because that can give a rise to lust. So what can be said when two persons touch each other? Dattatreyaji said, I learned from the elephant that a man should not be attached, I guess, to a woman. And I guess a woman should not be too attached to a man, but this is Shakun speaking. And what he learned from a honey gatherer, Dattatreyaji, and I read, Dattatreyaji said, from the honey gatherer I learned that one should not hoard wealth or objects of pleasure. Any hard work that is done out of greed goes to waste. Bees put forth all their effort to gather honey from many places, but they do not eat it themselves or give it to anyone. Then one day a honey gatherer comes to their hive covered in a blanket and takes away all their honey in an instant. In the same way, when a man hoards wealth and material objects, he refuses to enjoy his possessions or let others enjoy them. Like the honey gatherer, someone else comes and takes them all away. This is why one should not hoard. Having taken from the world, one should always keep giving to the world, just as trees and shrubs give, just as mountains and rivers give. This is what I learned from the honey gatherer. And Dattatreyaji learns from a deer. Dattatreyaji then told King Yadu that he learned from the deer. The deer is enchanted by music. When it hears the sound of the flute, it loses control and is caught easily. An ascetic in particular should not listen to worldly music or worldly matters, because just by hearing such things, his mind can become deluded and filled with desires. Music is beneficial when it has a touch of devotion, for devotional music redeems the soul. Music devoid of devotion becomes the cause of bondage. Then Dattatreyaji said, I learned from the deer not to become attached to sound or music. I don't know about this, because it is true that rock music to the devotional person is just, in my mind, at least my experience has been that it has been jarring. I have never been able to enjoy rock music. But I guess for the youth, for the young who are ready to explore, and I guess it's good for them. But definitely devotional music and spiritual, instruments, soft instruments, are always very meditative. So think about it. And I'm going to read now what Dattatreyaji learned from a fish. And Dattatreyaji said, I saw that the fish is attached to taste. Out of greed for the bait at the end of the fisherman's rod, it risks getting caught and invites its own death. In the same way, because of man's attachment to taste, he destroys himself. It is said that conquering all the other sense organs is not as difficult as conquering the tongue. By lessening or stopping one's food intake, one can conquer the other sense organs, but not the tongue. On the contrary, trying to control the tongue only tends to increase one's attachment to taste. Until one has conquered the tongue, one has not won control over the senses, much less the mind. Actually, one who has conquered the tongue can be the lord of his senses and mind. So I guess I will stop here. And it's not too many pages. I've just read about up to 927. So really 25, 26, and 27. But I think it gives you enough food to think about it. And yeah, until next time, I think where we have only very few left, I will take your leave and take care and God bless. And the bhajan for today is Bal de to bal data गीत तुम्हारे गाऊं कभी किसी से ना घबराऊं पल पल मैं मुस्काऊं, which means, O Lord, give me the strength to be able to sing your song. I should not be afraid of anyone, and I should continue to smile. And the first verse goes something like this. चाहे खुशी दो चाहे गम, चाहे खुशी दो चाहे गम, दोनों में रहूं मैं सम, तुम्हें है मेरी कसम, तुम्हें है मेरी कसम। बल दे दो बलदाता गीत तुम्हारे गाऊं, गीत तुम्हारे गाऊं। And the second verse. चाहे दुनिया रूठ भली जाए, चाहे दुनिया रूठ भली जाए, तेरा रूठना सहा न जाए, तेरा रूठना सहा न जाए, रूठना नहीं तुम, रूठना नहीं तुम। बल दे दो बलदाता गीत तुम्हारे गाऊं, गीत तुम्हारे गाऊं। And the meaning, चाहे खुशी दो चाहे गम, दोनों में रहूं मैं सम. O Lord, I ask you that whether I have joy or sorrow in my life, let me remain equanimous. And please do this for me. And the other verse says, Chahe dunya root bhali jai. It's okay if the world doesn't like me. It just is not my friend. But I cannot lose you. I cannot have you upset with me or annoyed with me. So never keep me away. The word rutna is really not to be friends, but I guess here it is not. How can God not be your friend? It means that don't be so annoyed with me that you leave me. So that's what it means. Until next time, you take care.